Welcome to the Social Smarty Scoop, your weekly roundup for all the social media marketing news and updates you need to know for the week ending the 4th of May 2025. Let's dive on in. First up this week, that hot new app, Edits by Instagram, the video editing app that rolled out, I think about a week ago, has already had an update. Now, 7 million people downloaded this app in its first week, and if you haven't tried it out, I highly recommend it. It is a great little video editing app. It's free to use, and it has all the basic features that you need, but that's the word, is basic. We are waiting for updates. There's so many things that I want to see added to it, and already we have our first update. So what is new? You can now choose from over 125 fonts to add text to your videos, and you can try out 15 new voice effects. And another addition, which I think is really important, is when you are updating a clip, if you have multiple clips and you want to add those updates or those changes to all of the clips, you can now do that in Edits. I don't know why that wasn't the case when they first rolled out the app, but of course we need that ability, so it has been updated. So as I said, if you haven't tried it out yet, go to your app store, search for Edits by Instagram and have a bit of a play around. My favorite thing inside the app is the way that you can save videos and you can add notes to them. I think they're called stickies, like a little post-it note which has your own private notes around that video. So you might save someone else's video as inspiration, pop a wee note on it, and detail how you might use it for your own business. And I think that is so useful. Next up this week, Instagram has rolled out the share only to profile feature to a lot more users. Now, this means you can share content, you can share a post, a reel that only shows on your profile. So it is not pushed out to people via the feed. Why on earth would we want to do this? Now, there's lots of different reasons we might want to do this. Maybe you have quite a curated feed and you've mucked up whatever that curation is, whether it's a checkerboard or some sort of rhythm or puzzle feed that you have. Or the other thing is, and I really love this from Manu over at Your Social Team. So what she does is when she has a promotion on, is she has that promotion detailed at the top of her profile. So if you go to her profile and she's in the middle of a launch or she's got something she's promoting, she'll often have 3 posts pinned to the top, which look really cool and they look like a seamless banner. And of course, when she posts those, she doesn't necessarily want to push them out in the feed because they don't really make sense. If you take a long banner that is 3 sections wide, chop it up and then post one at a time, when that post pops up in your feed, you're thinking, gosh, is this a mistake? Whereas if we could just post it so it sits on our profile without getting pushed out into the feed, that would make much more sense. So I think this is a good thing, but lots of people are struggling to see how they can apply it to their Instagram. In LinkedIn news this week, LinkedIn has started prompting users when they visit a company page to allow that company to see that they have visited the page. So you imagine you are preparing for a job interview. You're doing your research, you go to the company page for the company you're being interviewed by, and you do your research. So you open up the company page and a pop-up pops up and says, do you allow or would you like this company to be able to see that you've visited the page? And if you say yes, that means that whoever runs that company page will see that you have visited, and maybe that's a big check against your check against your name for that interview because you're clearly doing your research. Now, of course, there are lots of times we visit company pages on LinkedIn and we do not want that company to know. We may be doing some competitor research, something like that. So I think it's important that this is optional, but I just wanted to put that out there that you might notice this prompt coming up, and that's probably the only time that I can imagine that this would really work in your favor. Now, Instagram is testing the ability to customize notes by changing the color of the bubble and adding an emoji. So you can add short little text notes to your profile image over on Instagram. I use them a little bit sporadically when I have particular promotions on or messages that I want to share. I think this is quite cool, adding a little bit of customization so you can choose the color of that note that pops up and even add a single emoji. Threads has been spotted prompting users to share their thread posts to their Instagram stories. Now, Instagram Threads, there seems to be this constant kind of cross-promotion, encouragement happening on both platforms. So this is just another string to their bow. So sharing your threads, when you post that thread, it is going to prompt you to see if you want to share it also to your Instagram stories, which I'm always big on cross-promoting. I think we have one message, we might as well get it out on all the channels. So I really like this update. Instagram is now suggesting songs for carousel posts. So this is a really cool feature. So when we create a carousel post, if we add a song to it, this can help us increase the reach. But because it's quite a new feature, sometimes we just simply forget. In the past, we haven't added songs to carousel posts. So by Instagram prompting us and saying, hey, here's a song you can add to this post, it's a good little reminder. So we should always be adding music to our carousel post to help with increasing that reach. Now, Threads has moved from threads.net to threads.com. I'm guessing someone was owning that domain, that threads.com domain, and didn't want to hand it over, but they've finally handed it over. I am hoping they got squillions of dollars from Meta for that domain, but you now find Threads at threads.com. And lastly, this week, Meta has launched its own AI app to rival ChatGPT, but it is terrible. So I have Meta Ray-Bans. They are the Meta sunglasses. And I had an app on my phone called Meta View, and that was my interface with my sunglasses. That's how my phone connected with my sunglasses, how I updated settings and downloaded the videos and photos I had recorded on my glasses. Now, a few days ago, that app, Meta View, automatically changed to Meta AI, to the Meta AI app. So I thought, okay, right, let's have a play around with it. I jumped in there, and it is very voice-driven. So in a similar way that the ChatGPT app on your phone, you can have a voice conversation with it. That's what the Meta AI app is really, really similar to. So I had a very, very simple conversation with the app. I asked it what the time was. Now, it was so bad. It was about 5:40 p.m. when I asked the question. It came back and told me that it was around 7 a.m. And when I went back and said that's incorrect, it challenged me, and it said that it wasn't sure which of the time zones in New Zealand I was in. And then I said, well, actually, there's only one major time zone in New Zealand, so chances are, it would be a pretty easy answer to tell me what the time is. And then it came back and said, actually, New Zealand has daylight savings time, which is not a time zone. So it really argued with me, but it really couldn't tell me what the time is. You think the most simple, basic question to ask an AI model like that, and it couldn't even give me the answer. So I don't have high hopes for it right now. Hopefully it will improve. But there you have it. That is your social media marketing news for the week ending the 4th of May, 2025. As always, I would be over the moon if you could leave me a rating or a review wherever you're listening to this podcast. And if you want to continue the conversation, come and find me all over social media. You'll find me at socialsmarty.co. Until next week, stay social.